Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Washington Nationals franchise. I know once again it's been a few weeks since the last episode, but I was really focused on bringing my Pack Attack series to a close, and now that that's over, the path is cleared to get some more Nationals franchise going. And we really need to, because now that we know the date that MLB 24 is coming out, it's like a week or two earlier than I kind of thought it would be. So we have less time to finish up this franchise now in the way that I wanted to, so we're gonna have to get on it. We're still off to a relatively slow start, 23-21 for the number one ranked team to be only 23-21, but we are slowly bringing it back around. I think 3 episodes ago we finished 2 games under 500, 2 episodes ago we finished at 500, and then last episode we finished 2 games above, so it's an improvement. But guys, I'm excited to get started today because we're going to start with some wheeling and dealing. I've got some moves to make. There have been a couple of names on my mind on this roster that I've been looking to move on from just because they're kind of clogging things up. The first one being Gavin Sheets. He was really good for us last year, kind of struggling this year, but in order to get him in the lineup, he has to play first. He's not a great fielder at first, and that keeps Casas, who is supposed to be our first baseman and who is a pretty solid fielder at first, that keeps him from playing first. The second name that I'm looking to move on from here, it should be pretty obvious, but it's Ahmed Rosario. We may as well move on from him now while we should still be able to get something decent from him. Now, in terms of what I'm looking for, I think I've already mentioned this and it's kind of been my scouting focus, but I think we need some more starting pitcher depth, and not just, I guess, depth, but also prospects. Because right now we have Howard Ramirez, who was our first ever number 1 overall pick, and he's just not panning out to me. I mean, his overall is good, but at the end of the day, he's still a starting pitcher who has no stamina and only 3 pitches. So honestly, he's another one that I'm looking to move on from while he's still a pretty high rated prospect. But when it comes to our other pitching prospects, we have Zapata, who is the closest to being ready to go, and then nobody else is really even close to being ready to go. I've also had another name on my mind for a little while now, and I think I have brought him up before, but it is the number 8 prospect in baseball, Delman Sonnenberg. Now, he's definitely more of a project, got a long ways to go, only a 58 overall, but the game recognizes what I see in him, and I see a pretty bright future. Great contact both ways, good clutch. He's a switch hitter with good contact both ways already and good clutch. He does have a long way to go fielding wise, but I really like the current build of his hitting attributes. Now, I have 3 trades in mind that I have built and I'm ready to pull the trigger on, and they all kind of work together to achieve all the goals that I have for this team right now. So the first one is building a trade to get us Delman Sonnenberg from the Angels, and also knowing that we're going to get rid of Gavin Sheets, we can bring back somebody to kind of fill in the role that he would have if I were to have just moved him to the bench. And the perfect fit for that would be to go with Seth Beer. He's a 72 overall, which is solid. He's a pretty solid hitter actually, but he has a lot of team control left. So like, you know, we have him for pretty much as long as we want him for. Again, he's not great, but he's kind of your fill-in bench guy who might be able to have a good game here and there. So to get this package, it turns out all we need to do is go with Howard Ramirez, our technical number 1 pitching prospect right now, who, like I said, I'm not very high on. So that's that trade. The next one is for our pitching prospect that we're looking for, and if we look to the Pittsburgh Pirates, they have a guy by the name of Angelo Curran here, who is an A potential 72 overall lefty, and he has a very interesting build when it comes to his attributes. He's got pretty solid stamina, 77 should be solid enough. He's got really nice hits per 9 and a really good walks per 9 rating. The home runs per 9 is low, which is definitely a potential issue. We have a couple of guys right now with a lower hits per 9 or home runs per 9 that giving up home runs is a problem. He also is a little bit low on the clutch, but I trust that his A potential is going to bring those up to an acceptable spot that as everything else increases and he just becomes a better complete package, he'll be pretty good. Solid 4-pitch mix too, throws the ball hard. So for Angelo Curran, this is where we're going to get rid of Gavin Sheets, and we need to throw in slightly more They're looking for a catcher, so we're going to give up Jose Nunez, who actually, even though he's a pretty low overall right now, he's actually not a bad catching prospect. See potential. You know, even if he just gets up to the low to mid 70s, he's got plenty of time to get there, and that's not a bad future plan for a backup catcher. It's just we have a lot when it comes to catchers. I mean, we already have Keibert Ruiz, who's going to be around for a while. We have Sergio Rosales. We have Michael Jang, who's also an 18-year-old. And we can't forget about Alonso Acevedo, who does have that catcher secondary. So these two to get Angelo Curran, and that's going to be our move to snag a really nice pitching prospect. So we already have our pitching prospect covered. We already have Sonnenberg covered, but we haven't given up Ahmed Rosario yet. So what is there left to do? Well, let me show you. If we take a look at our current starting pitcher situation, it's not going well. This was supposed to be our strong suit. A lot of these guys had been pretty good throughout the March to October, and for whatever reason, now that we're in franchise mode, everybody's deciding to struggle at the same time. Besides Blake Snell, everybody else has an ERA up over 5. It's the bullpen right now is insane. They're pitching out of their mind and they're saving the pitching on this team, but we're not getting very many solid starts. So if I can find somebody who could get some starts now, if we want to try and turn things around, but could also be good for the future, that'd be pretty ideal. And I found the exact fit that we're looking for. Bobby Miller. Now, we've learned in real life how good Bobby Miller has become, but in this universe, he only just got called up. He has 1 start under his belt. But the Dodgers have been so loaded at pitching that they waited until he's already an 80 overall. So he's already good enough to pitch in the big leagues. He's still an A potential. He's still young, but the fact that he is 26 kind of helps us out long term because he has, you know, his entire probably 7 years of team control left because they waited to call him up this year. And you know, those 7 years, that's going to take us into his low 30s. So we're going to snag Bobby Miller from the Dodgers, and to get him, all we need to give up is Ahmed Rosario and then a little bit more thrown in. And as I was looking, our best option is Noah Syndergaard. He makes it that they're definitely interested in making this trade. The only reason I signed him in the first place was so that I would have somebody that's not a brand new call-up making their debut if I needed to replace one of our starting pitchers if they got hurt. But if we're picking up Bobby Miller, we would have that extra starting pitcher now, so we don't really need Syndergaard around, so that's the perfect guy to throw in. Also free up a little extra budget. So I am just assuming that all these trades are going to work just because the feedback thing says they're definitely interested in making the deal. So let's go ahead and start making these moves here. The first one we're going to do is Gavin Sheets and Jose Nunez for Pirates pitching prospect Angelo Curran, and we got him. All right, now let's go with our Sonnenberg deal. We're also snagging Seth Beer just for Howard Ramirez, which, you know, I still feel like I have to say by the purely age overall and potential ratings, this trade is probably more in their favor, but with just how little confidence I have in Howard Ramirez being any good, I do think this is a pretty solid trade for us, especially since we just added another new pitching prospect. So we'll pull the trigger on this one, and they say that sounds like a good deal also. So then for our final move, we go to the other team from LA, Ahmed Rosario, Noah Syndergaard for Bobby Miller, and let's go ahead and finalize this deal, and we got all 3 of them. Wheelin and Dealin. I was a little worried that it might change our rankings getting rid of a couple high-rated guys, or at least Rosario being high-rated, but we're still ranked number 1. The only thing I recognize changing is our speed has dropped all the way down to 30th. All right, so now let's get this lineup set up how we wanted it. We've got Casas playing first. We've got Isan Diaz at third. And then I do think I want to give Bobby Miller a spot in the starting rotation, but I don't think I'm bold enough to start him over like a Cade Cavalli, who's struggling the most, or an Adone or a Josiah Gray, just because they have a history of being good. Mackenzie Gore has really no history of being good for us, so I'm going to put him back in the bullpen. And then even though Jose Ayala has actually been pretty solid as a rookie for us as a relief pitcher, I feel like he's kind of the odd one out right now. We don't need a third long relief arm. So we're going to get him sent down, and then we do need a backup infielder infielder now. So that is going to go to Yu Chang. Man, just out of curiosity, I wanted to take a look at the top 50 prospect list and see who we have. And somehow just trading for Sonnenberg bumped his ranking up to 5 from 8. So now we have the number 5 and 6 prospects. We have number 17. So 2 of those 3 are new acquisitions. We also have number 20. We have number 23. We have number 27. And then we have Bobby Miller all the way down here at 48, which I don't really understand. I mean, it's kind of weird to consider a 26-year-old a prospect, but he's also an 80 overall and he's like ready to go. So I don't know how he's so far down on the prospects, but maybe it's just the fact that he's 26 and just got called up. I don't know. But anyway, after all that, we're finally ready to get into our games here today. Now we will be simming the first 5 and then playing the next one, but the next one should be a Bobby Miller start. He'll be starting this first game we sim, but he should also be getting the start in the game we play, which would be this game against the Brewers. So let's get things simming here. Let's see. Bobby Miller first start. We're just simming right through it. Let's see how he does. Doesn't look like he did great, judging by the fact that this critical situation they want us loading into here has us down 7-2. I'm not gonna bother loading into this one. Don't really care about a 12-game hitting streak when we're down 5 late, so we'll just finish it out, drop it 7-3. Bobby Miller in his first start only goes 4, gives up 5. Maybe our starting position or starting pitcher position is just cursed this year. All right, well then let's get through this next one too. We always need to see a good low-scoring start from Cade Cavalli, and there we go. Lowered his ERA by a full run. Gave up plenty of base runners, but pitched 7 scoreless innings. That is what we need. Maybe him seeing me trade for new pitchers and bumping other pitchers to the bullpen is giving him a bit of a kick to do better. All right, so we won that series against Baltimore. Now on to 3 games against KC. And the first game, they're going to give me a critical situation to load into, and we will hop into this one. Down 1. Paul Sewald out there trying to close me out. We got Juan Soto up. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can prevent this loss here. Soto's 3 for 4 on the day. We've got 3, 4, 5 coming up here. No, and they made me go around below the zone. What sucks is I feel like it's going to tell me I would have been on that if I just swung. Oh, no, I was late, but I probably would have at least fouled it off. And on the ground, he fielded it cleanly, so we're not going to get on. That's 2 down. Ian Happ is our last hope. And he's going to keep the game going. All right. I thought that was going to get through at first, but it still works out as a base hit. I caught a glimpse of that PCI, and it wasn't great, so I'm lucky. And we're going to work a walk with Chapman. All right. Winning run gets on base. Tying run moves up to second with Tristan Casas batting up almost 300 now. This is a great matchup here. This is exactly what you want. Oh, my God. Stay fair. No. Inches. Oh, wait, that one. Come on, drop faster. That's going to drop faster. Doesn't get past him. Doesn't get to the wall, so we're not going to win it now, but the game's extended. 2-out rally, and it all comes down to our brand new call-up. Ooh, they're going to go to the bullpen here, but it comes down to our brand new call-up, Yu Chang, as our bench infield guy, fill-in utility type player, and he's actually pretty good against righties with pretty good clutch, so I'm keeping him in. We're giving Isan Diaz his full day off here. That was a good first pitch to swing at, and I actually put a decent swing on it, but it's unfortunate. But hey, look, I mean, we kept the game going, which it didn't look like we were even going to do that after the first 2 batters. We've got Nick Sandlin still out there, and I forgot to warm anybody else up, so he's at least going to have to face this first guy, and he can't find the zone. Ooh, that works out nice. Hit it pretty hard, but kept that runner at second. Oh, what a spot, Nick Sandlin. I didn't know you had it in you. No. Oh, we came so close to getting out of it. Nick Sandlin was pitching pretty well, but one good swing from the 8-hole hitter. Gonna sit down the 9-hole hitter pretty easily, though, so we just have the 1 run allowed. Just got to bring around our free runner. We've got K-Bear Ruiz to lead it off, who is, I don't even think struggling is an adequate enough term to describe his season up to this point, but this would be a good turnaround. Get through, get through. That's going to get through. I'm sending him. 71 speed should be plenty. And it will be, and K-Bear Ruiz ties it up right away. Might want to think about getting some more speed out there on first now, with that being the winning run. Oh, actually, I don't have a backup catcher anymore. Game must have already used Jorge Alfaro in this one. Oh, that's what it was. Isan Diaz didn't even get a day off. He just got pinch ran for by Alfaro. And now we don't have a backup catcher. Okay, I got lucky there. That was a close take there for ball 4, but we have 2 on now. Moves that winning run 90 feet closer. And look who we have up. Mr. Clutch himself. No, really? Mr. Clutch. There we go. Soto's going to take care of it. That is leaving, right? That is leaving, right? It's not leaving. And then I bounced it on the very first pitch to Meneses, so we got to go to another extra inning. All right, well, here goes Joe Mantiply. And we'll get a grounder right away, but that moves that runner up to third. Yu Chang has that one, all right, and it keeps him at third. And there we go. We sit down Vinny P. 7 pitches for Joe Mantiply to hold that runner out there. I mean, that's just what he does. Now let's get him this win. And Matt Chapman, that's getting down. Run, Meneses. I'm sending you. 31 speed's got to be enough. They're throwing it to second. It doesn't matter. Matt Chapman walks it off. Nice little game there, man, and that was very March to October-y. You know, loading in, down 1. We brought it back, played a couple extra innings. That'd be a pretty nice momentum boost if this was still March to October. That's got to be looking at 4 or 5 flame balls. And actually, that kind of has me thinking, I'm not going to lie. I know I spent last episode talking about being very rigid in how we're going to get through this season. You know, sim the games we sim and play 1 full game and then play the last 3 innings of another game. But after that, and saying that felt very March to October-y, I almost want to alter it. So maybe we'll still get through the same chunk of games, which would be what, like 12 or 13 games at a time. But maybe instead of what I had said before, maybe we just pick whichever of those 12 or 13 games that would maybe be the most interesting, or maybe the game I'd want to play the most. We'll pick one, and then the rest we'll sim, hop into any interesting critical situations, because that was nice. And hopefully somewhere on the back end, that has a similar momentum effect that a March to October win of the sort would have. So let's see, do we carry that into this next game? Well, we have another critical situation, and you know what, we may as well hop into this. I haven't really bothered to hop into hitting streak player locks, but we are only up to 4-2 game here. Oh, and I swung at the very first pitch. Good pitch to swing at. I just didn't put a great swing on it. Hopefully we get one more AB, but if we keep the lead, I don't think we will. And now we get to sit here and watch it as the game sims. Sir Anthony Dominguez in to close it, but he's having trouble. He got taken out. Oh my God, what happened? Well, we get another AB. They really just brought me into this game to watch the downfall there. 6-run 9th inning. Well, is that at least going to bloop in? All right, well, at least I extend the hitting streak. Yep, Isan Diaz grounds out to end it. That's a shame. I don't know, in that situation, because like if we think about this almost trying to be similar to a March to October, if it was a player lock, I wouldn't have been able to hop in, take control of the game there in the 9th, and close it out myself. But also, this isn't March to October. We don't have to play it like March to October. Maybe I could try and frantically pause the simulation there and throw that 9th inning myself. I don't know. We're still learning here. All right, and it's Sunday now, so that means it's scouting day. And man, I really am still so confused. I mean, I've done so much scouting back in the March to October, and then now, you'd think I'd have some idea, but look at this dude, Jorge Bautista. After scouting him fully, we have it determined that he is about a full round worth of draft picks worse than the consensus slot that he'd be taken in. But based on all this crap, he still looks like a really good pick. Like, I so don't understand. I mean, he's great in the field, seems to have really good future upside at the plate. I mean, those seem like pretty solid attribute ranges. I don't know, maybe I just wasn't paying attention. Maybe those are still solid attribute ranges, but they're more fitting for a 64 overall, and maybe they looked better before. I don't know. Well, actually, that's not even true, because I didn't realize, but Luther Saito here is also a third baseman. He's also 18 years old, but for us, we have him ranked all the way up to 4. So MLB draft rank, the consensus is that they're pretty similar, but Saito's a little worse. But when it comes to our scouts, they're saying that they're 60 ranks apart. This guy is ranked 4. But looking at his stuff, this is nowhere near as good. Like, I mean, this is about as close to a 1-to-1 comparison as you can get. Same position, same age. I get that the potential range there on Luther is better than Bautista, but I don't understand how that translates into both the present and the future ratings. Like, if you look at the ranges here for Luther for the future, and then look at the ranges here for Bautista for the future, this would tell you that Bautista has the brighter future. So I don't understand how that translates into Bautista capping out at a potential of 82, but Luther having the potential to get all the way to a 95. All right, well, switching it up then, we'll still scout a new pitcher, and then we'll focus in on some shortstops, scouting by position, international, and East. We've got one more game in this KC series to sim, and this would give us a chance to win our second series of the episode. Josiah Gray on the mound. And we have another critical situation. It's just the very next game of CJ Abrams' hitting streak, but I'll hop into it. We're down 3 this time, so probably not a whole lot of opportunity to make a difference, only controlling one player, but that's what we have here. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, but I'm kind of the mindset that if one of these critical situations is a player lock, I should keep locked on to that player and not get too involved. I don't think that one's gonna drop quick enough to bloop in, so that probably would be our last chance. I mean, unless we put together some kind of rally here at the end. And okay, we're putting something together, and we do have another chance. 2 outs on the board, but I'm the tying run. I put a good swing on it, but that's not gonna get down. That's a really good swing. That sucks. Wow. So we drop a series to the Royals, man. We're having so much trouble putting together consistent runs here. Like, it seems like we're not winning many games in a row, but we're also not losing many games in a row. So that takes us back down to 25 and 24. We'll go ahead and sim right to what will be our next game. And even with me thinking about changing up how I get through here and just picking any of the games within the chunk of games that we'll be playing, I still think this is the most interesting game to play. A start with Bobby Miller, our newly acquired pitcher. Get a chance to use him, get a chance to see what he's like. Even though the opponent's not all that great and it shouldn't be that much of a high stakes matchup, I think this will be the most interesting game we can hop into here today. Before we hop into our game, actually, though, I just remembered that this was something I wanted to do after last episode, was mess with the stamina slider a bit. So we're here on human starter stamina, and I think I'm just gonna bump this up 1 tick. It says shifting to the right increases the number of pitches a starter can throw, so I'm gonna shift that up 1 tick, and then I want the CPU to be the same. You know, I don't want to give myself an advantage, so we're bumping up both the human and CPU starter stamina. I don't see any option for like simulation starter stamina. All I see when it comes to simulation is injury frequency, and hopefully now the stamina for these starting pitchers is a little bit more realistic. And here we go. It's time for our full game of the episode. We're taking on the Brewers. They're not so good this year. We're trying to keep ourselves from dropping back down to 500, but the big story about today's game is it's going to be our first time seeing our new trade acquisition, Bobby Miller, on the mound. Threw on some alternate road jerseys today. I like these. I like these dark blues. And we're going to lead it off with a base hit from Abrams. Oh, but I'm getting under that changeup with Luis Garcia. That's a floater, man. That pitch really floated in, too. Liner to center. Another changeup. That time I'm on it, but I just didn't hit it hard enough. I mean, I hit it plenty hard. I guess I just didn't hit it to the right spot. And then I'm late on a first pitch fastball. They end up getting out of the inning. Leadoff base runner can't do anything for us, and now it's on to Bobby Miller. He had a rough first start in a Nationals jersey. In the first game he started after the trade when it was simmed, so we're looking for a bounce back here. We got to get him back on track. And that's a good way to start. Get him looking on the heat right there. Oh, come on, Hap. We got to get to this. Why does it look like he's running so slow out there? Man. And a 3-pitch strikeout. That is a great first inning. Couple punch outs and a weak pop-up. Ooh, Ian Happ. Why does he always get hit? Matt Chapman with the line drive. All right, we got something going. Ooh, that got past him. Okay. Oh, okay, and that just stayed in the zone. All right, at least we still have 2 in scoring position with only 1 out. This is, though, however, where Isan Diaz is at his weakest. He has really good hitting numbers besides the clutch rating. We're looking at a 49 clutch. We're going to draw a walk, though. They had a base open. Felt like Diaz was being pitched around there, and it makes sense. We have Keibert Ruiz coming up next, who he has not been the same Keibert Ruiz. And that's exactly why you pitch around the batter in front of him. We get to a 3-2 count. Just a change up slightly low in the zone, but it's just something about Keibert Ruiz. The CPU, me, doesn't matter. Neither of us can hit with him. There we go. That curveball is working here. 3 punch outs in the first 4 batters. Rollover grounder. First look live at Isan Diaz playing third. Ooh, that's going to be trouble. That sucks. 98 speed. He's going to be kept at second, though. But, man, that's a late swing. That's a blooper. And there we go. We worked that count back from down 3-0. 3 straight strikes. Bobby Miller gets through 2 scoreless. Okay, now this is something to keep an eye on here. I just checked on their starting pitcher. He has a 66 stamina rating, which isn't great, but 34 pitches in, down to half of his energy. I don't know. I feel like that's still kind of low. And we'll work a walk with Luis Garcia. I think that's our second walk. We have 2 hits on the board and a hit batter. We're getting on base in all different kinds of ways. Oh, there we go. Soto hit that one hard enough. First pitch, fastball is not going to sneak by him. He's going deep for the 13th time on the year. Oh, but we're going to bounce into another double play. We get 2 on the board. We've had all sorts of base runners, but we've also grounded into 2 double plays in 3 innings. That's a line drive, but Abrams out in center. He's getting better and better out there. Oh, and we just missed the spot there on a 3-2 count. Couple really nice takes. There we go. We got Yelich on 3 pitches, though. Still kept the inning relatively quick and added another punch out. Matt Chapman to center. I'm a little late. Oh, it's just barely not going to go. Late side of good. That might have been the difference there. Casas, man, that's another shot. Okay, that is going to get down, though. Isan Diaz, man. I mean, that was another AB for him with the clutch rating active, but I don't know how much of a difference that makes there. Yeah, this dude is absolutely gassed right now. Like, that's got to be well into the yellow. It doesn't show colors when you're looking at the opposing pitcher's stamina, his energy. And Keibert Ruiz, just another one on the ground weak. Good timing. PCI was relatively solid, and it's only coming off the bat at 80. Oh, there we go. All right. He went around on the fastball up. We got another 3-pitch strikeout. I would say as of now, Bobby Miller's stamina is looking pretty decent. I mean, that was the 43rd pitch for him. I think he has 76 stamina. Another punch out, though. Man, he's racking them up. But yeah, 76 stamina is more solid. It's still not, like, incredible. It's just kind of whatever. Ooh. Ooh, and that's going to get, well, it's going to end up as a hit anyway. There we go, though. Splitter sits down Garrett Mitchell. Another punch out on the board. This start is going very well. Oh my God, CJ Abrams. No doubter on the perfect fastball low and in. He doesn't do that too often. I really liked the look of that. And Luis Garcia, that's going to get through on the ground. And that's where they're going to yank their starter. Makes sense. He was very low on energy. Couple of hits back to back to start this inning. And we got the bullpen to face the rest of the way. That's a lot of outs to pick up. Soto, no, that's going to be another double play. There we go. Just blow it past him. Not even messing around here. Look at that. Another one. 100 right on the corner. We're one strike away from an immaculate inning here, and I'm not going to stray away from what's working. Right back up and in, and we got him. Bobby Miller. And our first start with him after making the trade is tossing an immaculate inning. 9 pitches, 9 strikes, 3 strikeouts. Isan Diaz, I feel like I got a lot of that. I'm a little under it, but he has enough power to take it out. That's our 3rd home run of the day, all by lefties. I guess that's what he does when he's not hampered by the clutch rating. Keibert Ruiz, man, even when I hit the ball well with him, he can't get lucky. We had a tough time putting Bryce Terang there, and we can't add to the strikeout total, which, by the way, is at 11. And we're 70 pitches in, still in the green energy with 76 stamina. I feel like that's pretty solid, but I feel like if the actual stamina rating is matching up with the pitch count when we hit yellow energy, that kind of makes sense to me. And we're right about to hit yellow at any point here, and we're pretty much right at the stamina rating. And we're adding another strikeout. There we go. That last pitch was our last pitch in the green, and our first pitch in the yellow is going to be pitch number 76. So yeah, to me, that works. That makes sense. And now we're giving up a base hit now that we're in the yellow. I don't know, though. I still don't know if I would say that those numbers are very realistic. I feel like if you're in a real-life start with the real-life Bobby Miller, and he's got 12 strikeouts through 6 innings after this ball is caught at only 79 pitches, like, you're probably not even considering taking him out of the game at that point. Abrams, that's going to be a 3rd hit for him on the day. That's why his average is so high. He just destroys the righties. I probably didn't show it, but earlier in the at-bat, it popped up his average splits. He was batting .426 against righties and .250 against lefties. Soto, that's a nice base hit. Ian Happ, come on. That's got to get over his head and left. It won't. He ran that down. Of course he gets the good reaction on that one when it means runs. You know what? I am going to keep Bobby Miller out there. Like I was saying, this would not be a time I feel like you would take out a starter. He's got a shutout going through 6, 12 strikeouts, wasn't even at 80 pitches. Like, you don't take your starter out yet. And that's why he's going to keep sitting him down. Another one on the splitter. He's getting him with all 4 of his pitches also. I guess that little window that pops up that says when your pitcher's getting started didn't pop up until just before that last pitch. So I don't know what I'm supposed to take away from that. But it wasn't until the 88th pitch that he was officially tired. And the 90th pitch is going to be another strikeout on the splitter. That might be where we call it. All right, so before we take him out, we do see that 90th pitch got him down into the red energy. So this is a perfect time to take him out. I still feel like for a start of that quality, I don't know. I guess he is a young guy. It's only his 3rd big league start, so maybe he wouldn't be given another innings worth of pitches at that point. But I feel like a normal starting pitcher would be. So I don't know. Oh man, and Caleb Ferguson is going to pick up right where he left off. Grounder weak over to Casas. And another one. Nice quick inning from Caleb Ferguson. Punch out and then 2 quick outs. We're going to get Mantiply an inning here. In that one game with the critical situation where we gave up 6 runs in the 9th inning and lost, pretty sure Mantiply gave up a few of those. So if we can snag an inning here with him and get his numbers back to Joe Mantiply level numbers, that'll help. There we go. Snag a strikeout right away. Oh, no, we don't need that, though. We don't need very late, weak hits. Oh, my God, they're going to get another one. Dive. Oh, my God, he didn't even dive towards the ball. Why did I do that? Why did I give up a run for free when I could have just, stepped in front of that? Oh, we're going to get him at 3rd, though. Could have just stepped in front of it, kept it at runners on 1st and 2nd. But no, now we're screwing Mantiply over. I brought him in to give him a clean inning, and that just guaranteed that he gave up a run. Oh my god, dude. I don't know, maybe Mantiply is starting to lose it. Fortunately, that's hit right to center field. We keep it to only the 1 run there. Bobby Miller with the dominant start. I think it was 7 innings, 3 hits allowed, no runs allowed, and 15 strikeouts. I feel like that's kind of been the theme, though, with a lot of our full games, is like, I hop in there, pitcher throws a great game when I use them, and then we go and simulate in the very next game. They throw like 3 innings and give up 6. But hey, we'll take the win, back up to 2 games above 500. We got 2 more games against a struggling Brewers team. Be really nice if we could just finish a sweep here. Let's see what we got in game 2. We got a critical situation. Looks like we had a 3-0 lead going into the bottom of the 8th, and we've given up 2 runs in the 8th, 2 in the 9th, and for some reason, Mackenzie Gore is the one out there right now to try and hold it. So we'll hop right back into a game against the Brew Crew. Think we'll probably be stuck with Gore, seeing as he has no pitches. We got to face 3 batters with him. They don't have any outs. I didn't realize that. For some reason, I thought they had 2. Cade Cavalli actually had a really nice start. And then it was Seranthony Dominguez. Didn't get an out. Blew the save. That is rough, man. That is not what you want to see. Oh, that's got to be strike 3. Okay. 1 extra pitch. Just blow it past him. Mackenzie Gore is meaning business right now. There we go. Not just a weak ground out, but it's also going to keep him at second base. Just need 1 more. And another strikeout on the fastball. Dude, Mackenzie Gore was dealing. Nobody could touch his fastball, and he's sitting 95. And there we go. Soto's going to do his thing. Walk doesn't help a ton there, but it does give us an extra base runner for the lefty killer, Joey Meneses. Oh, but I'm getting blown away. What's going on here? Hap, no, that can't be 2. What am I doing? No, I saw the bad throw and I thought we got blessed, but no, he just got tagged. All right, well, Mackenzie Gore did it last inning with the runner on second and nobody out. There's no saying he can't do it again. There we go, 12-6. Didn't really want to keep that in the zone, but it worked. That's going to win it for him. That's really going to be the swing that wins it for him. I'm really glad that the fact that that bounced over Juan Soto's head didn't matter, because that would have just made me even more mad if it did. That's a really rough loss, man. That's a game we shouldn't be losing. I hate to always bring the comparisons back around to the White Sox, but that's just what I know because I'm a White Sox fan. This is very 2022 White Sox. Some of you will know what that means, and for those of you that don't, it's just the White Sox were supposed to be really good coming off a division title, and then in 2022 they went exactly 500. They dropped so many games they shouldn't have, losing to bad teams, and it just feels like that's what we're doing. We're not putting away the teams that we should be putting away. I mean, look at the series we have had in this episode. We had Baltimore at 22-29. We have a 19-30 Kansas City Royals team that we dropped a series to, and now the 16-33 Brewers we're going to be playing for the series. So let's sim through this final series game. We need an ace-like start from you, Adone, and he didn't give it to us. That brings us right back down to a 500 record. Let's sim this series then, 1 game at a time. They're going to be the best team we've played so far, so we got to bring it. And we have another critical situation. We need 1 out with 2 runners on. Scott Effross is out there. I wonder why it's not Seranthony Dominguez out there. I mean, you'd think with a day off after the blown save, it wouldn't be an energy issue unless he already was in this game and they took him out. He was. And look, he had another rough outing. Technically not a blown save yet. And I think at this point, if a save is blown, it would go on Effross. This is not a problem I was expecting to all of a sudden have. Our bullpen, guys, was so lights out. Come on, Effross, we need to make this play. We got the throw, we got it there in time, and we are going to lock this one up. A little dicey, but hey, that's what critical situations are for. Put me in when our guys are right about to blow it, and I'll try and keep that from happening. I don't know, man. The mind wanders when you have a couple of rough outings in a row from who should be your lockdown closer and who kind of had been my lockdown closer. But just real quick, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this, but since we just did get Bobby Miller, a potential 26 years old, replacing Mackenzie Gore in the starting rotation, and Mackenzie Gore has always been underwhelming. He himself is still a young A potential. That's an 83 overall. I'm sure that's got to have some trade value. Maybe in between episodes, I'll take a look and maybe see what I could get for a Mackenzie Gore in terms of an even more lockdown closer. But let's focus on finishing this series then against San Diego. We got to sweep it if we want to continue our trend of improving our record every episode. So let's see here. Game 2 on a Saturday, and we dropped it. We can't put anything together consistently. But let's at least see if we can end today's episode. It's either going to be one game up or one game below 500. So even though it's, my mind is going blank now what the opposite word of improvement is. It's not deprovement. Let's use that for now though. Either way, it's going to be a deprovement on our ending record of last episode, but we can save it, still stay above 500. I'm pressing triangle, we're simming, and we win. Not even a critical situation to end it, but we pick up the dub. And I don't know, maybe Sir Anthony Dominguez does it better when he has a slimmer lead, because one run of cushion and he shuts it down. All right, then that is where we are going to conclude today's episode. I'm really excited about all those trades we made, even though technically they really, besides the Bobby Miller one, aren't supposed to improve our current team. But we're still ranked first, but we're also still waiting for the turnaround. Like I said at the start, we're going to have to start coming out with these episodes much more quick, and we should be able to now that I have finished up Pack Attack. So be on the lookout for that. But I guess that's all I've got for you today, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around today, and I will see you next time.